Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Tracy Hanson, Jeff Hopper. We're talking about 8 great traits that Peter taught us in his second letter. Add to your faith goodness, and then he says, add to your faith knowledge. So we're going to talk about knowledge. Boy, there's a lot of knowledge available when it comes to golf.
Oh, it's crazy. And one of the things in my Pro-Am groups especially, and they start talking about, I saw on Golf Channel, I read in the golf magazine, and the first thing I say is like, stop. Don't watch it, don't read it.
Yeah, because what you would prefer is that people have a teacher that they're learning from consistently. Is that right?
Yes. You have to have a teacher and believe in their theory.
Okay.
And stick to that. And what happens is when you start, I heard this tip, I'm going to try it. And then the next day or the 2 days later, you hear another tip and you try it. Now you've got confusion happening.
Right.
You're listening to too many voices, too many tips, and most of them are not going to feed into what your swing and your theory or what you're being taught. They almost collide.
Okay. How about if my teacher and I have been working on my iron play, and I pick up a magazine in the airport, I'm reading it on the plane, and it's talking to me about my sand play. Is it okay to grab that tip?
If it falls in line with the theory that your swing instructor is trying to teach you.
So everything gets submitted to what that master teacher is trying to teach you.
Right. You got to commit to something. Otherwise, confusion creates frustration, anger, results don't happen as quickly, and you get off mark. You get off base. You get off the straight and narrow that you're trying to go.
Okay. We live in an Amazon world. I can find 1,000 Christian books that are interesting to me.
Right.
And they're all going to help me in some way. So do I just take all of Amazon's recommendations? Or what do I do when it comes to my spiritual knowledge?
Well, I think you got to take everything you hear, whether it's your pastor on Sunday morning or the books that you're reading, and test it against Scripture.
So that's the master teacher.
Right.
Scripture
Submit it to
itself.
Scripture.
Right. Because we know that the Scripture is useful for training, equipping, and taking us to where we need to go next. In fact, in 2 Peter chapter 1, right where we are, we learn that through Christ, we have everything we need to know for life and godliness.
Mm-hmm.
So all these other things I can learn from are good, but not best. Is that right?
Well, yeah, and nobody has all the right answers, or the answer, except for Scripture.
Right.
And so we can learn a little bit from everybody, but if it doesn't follow Scripture, then it's not useful.
Okay.
And I think the same thing in golf is that we can glean from different things, but it's not the full source or the one thing that's going to take your game to pro level if you're just started, or even in the pro levels. I can't listen to everybody else because I've got to listen to what my swing needs under the theory that I'm being taught.
Okay. That's a good thing to remember, to go back to that Scripture. It's good for teaching and training. It tells us, good for rebuking and correcting. And sometimes it's going to correct some wayward teaching we've heard and bring us back to Jesus.
Yes.
That's critical. Well, let's keep that in mind, and next week we'll come back with another trait for you.